I hope you are having a fabulous day. My name is Reggie, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a very special experience I had. I recently, and by recently I mean last month, but I haven't had a chance to film this video, went to a really cool signing at my local bookstore that had Lauren Oliver, Kendare Blake, and Mindy Mcginnis at it, and it was so much fun. So this event was celebrating these authors' 3 recent releases: Kendare Blake's 3 Dark Crowns, Mindy Mcginnis's The Female of Species, and Lauren Oliver's Replica. I've obviously read many books by Lauren Oliver, but I have never read anything by Mindy Mcginnis or Kendare Blake, so this was a lot of signing firsts for me. This was the first signings I've ever gone to where I hadn't read anything by the author. This was also the first signing I've ever been to where there was a panel of speakers / authors, and that was such a cool experience. But we came in, we bought our books, we sat down, we had someone come out and introduce the authors, have them tell us a little bit about their books. This was really what pushed me and my friend to participate in NaNoWriMo this month. They talked a lot about their writing process, their writing journey, their history in writing, how they got started, how they first got published. The girls were great. Lauren Oliver kind of led the discussion in terms of she has a lot of experience doing these, and she was able to kind of make sure every person was speaking. Even though we had a moderator, she was really good at controlling the conversation as best she could. The girls kind of got crazy with it, which is what I love. They talked a lot about feminism, and they were all very different, but had similar things to say, which was such a really cool thing to see. I specifically loved hearing about their experiences because they all have very different writing backgrounds and very different levels of success and very different approaches and stories they write, even though they have so much in common. It was just really cool to see different walks of life and different writing styles get to this very similar place. And again, like I said, this was very encouraging to a potentially aspiring writer. I really liked a lot of the women's anecdotes. All 3 of these stories have a underlying female point. In Replica, both of our main characters are in different sides of the world, females dealing with the genetic ramifications of this world. In 3 Dark Crowns, you have a female-driven society where women are ruling all. And then in The Female Species, you, of course, have some hardcore, badass female story plot going on. Mindy Mcginnis spoke specifically about a time where she was at a public event and she saw genitalia drawn on like a wall or a trailer or something like that. She took off her shirt because she was wearing 2 and she wiped it off and cleaned it up, and as soon as she was done, a 10-year-old girl came around who was right behind that trailer, and she's like, this is why I do these things, and is that so many people were walking by and either disgusted by it or laughing at it, but no one did anything about it. And they all talked about their motivations for the stories they wrote. It was just such a great and interesting experience. Kendare Blake talked about her journey as an author and how the stories came about. Lauren Oliver talked about how she grew up wanting to be a writer and wrote every day and still writes every day. They were just very wonderful group of women who were very inspiring to writers, very inspiring to readers, very inspiring to women. So since there were simultaneously 3 lines going on and 3 authors signing, how it started was when we bought our books, they assigned us a letter. We're assigned Kendare Blake, which was great. She was a great person to start off with because she was very mellow. So when we arrived there, these were the books I purchased: Replica, 3 Dark Crowns, The Female Species, and Rooms. These were the books I bought that I wanted signed. And from home, I brought Not a Drop to Drink and Before I Fall. Then the event had happened, and we were standing in line for Kendare Blake, and I had loved everything Mindy Mcginnis had said, that I ran back to where the books were on display, and I bought A Madness So Discreet, and I got back in line for Kendare Blake. Kendare Blake was meeting a friend after the signing, and her friend was there with a hairless cat, and it was so cool. We got to meet the hairless cat and pet the hairless cat, and we got to talk to Kendare Blake. She had met the cat owner over the internet, so we talked a lot about meeting people over the internet. She put Reggie, It's Not Easy Being Queen, Kendare Blake, and she drew the cute little bee, has deckled edges, and this book sounds so good. I'm so excited to read it. Haven't yet, but oh, I'm so excited. After you went to the signing line that you were assigned to, you could go to whichever one you wanted. We went to the Mindy Mcginnis line because it was shorter, I shouldn't say short, it was shorter than Lauren Oliver's line, as you can imagine. So I got the female species signed. She gave us bookmarks, which is great. For this, she put Regina, Trust Your Instincts, Mindy Mcginnis. Then she signed A Madness So Discreet, Regina, Find Your Voice, Mindy Mcginnis. And then she signed Not a Drop to Drink, Regina, No Regrets, Mindy Mcginnis. We talked a lot about living in a small town, which was something she talked on the panel. We also talked about her stories, having a feminine lean, and just life in Ohio, because that's where she's from and that's where I currently live. It was a very interesting conversation and it was really fun. And I loved her conversation so much. I loved meeting her and I loved the entire experience. She was my favorite panelist. She was such a unique and wonderful and strong-willed person. I was having such a great time. I was like, Trina loves this author. And I just had the most amazing experience. So I ran back to the cash register and I bought another copy of The Female Species. They probably thought I was crazy because I was buying so many books, and I did buy so many books. But I ran back to Mindy Mcginnis, had it signed, and I was talking to her and she's like, for Trina? And I was like, yeah, you probably know her. She makes YouTube videos. And she's like, oh, Trina! And she was super excited. She loves Trina, as do we all. And it was just really cool to see her light up and be so excited by Trina. So that was really fun, and that was such a cool experience to like have this little moment with Mindy Mcginnis. Like we were both like, oh, we love Trina. She's great. And then you guys, we go to the Lauren Oliver line. And the Lauren Oliver line is long. Lauren Oliver is closing out this bookstore. We kept that bookstore open until the very end. We were the last people in line, my friend and I, probably because I kept getting out of line to buy more books. The Lauren Oliver line was really cool because we got to talk to people that we had met at the Ray Carson signing and people we knew who were teachers or librarians that we had met at this previous signing. And it was really cool to like touch base with them, and they were showing us pictures on their phone from a Harry Potter party they had, and it was just really cool to like bond with these people. We were in different walks of life, but we're still at this book signing loving the experience and loving these stories and loving these authors, and that was such a cool experience to just bond with these people that we don't really know but we feel so connected to, and that's something I just absolutely love about books. I did get these 3 books signed and I loved it. Lauren Oliver is one of my favorite authors, as you guys know. So meeting her was really cool. I walked up and at first I was like, oh, I love your hat, because she wears this really cute pink hat. And she's like, oh, and then I noticed her nails matched replica. They were blue and yellow and they were really cute. And I complimented her nails and I asked her what they said, because she had written replica in Sharpie on them, but that was kind of fading, so I wasn't sure if it said replica or not. She told me it did. Then we talked about the movie for Before I Fall because I'm really excited for it. And then we talked about, I don't know how it came up, but we talked about how my fiance and my friend's husband are both in the PhD program. And we're like, yeah, they're off studying Shakespeare and Scottish folklore, and we're sitting here in line meeting you. And Lauren Oliver was like, yeah, all of the people in my family have PhDs and I have a master's, and I'm kind of like the black sheep of the family with a master's, which was really a funny and unique statement. And she doesn't mean it in a bad way. Of course, her family still loves and accepts her and knows she's super successful, but it's different. And it was really cool to bond over that, like knowing a person that's gone through this horrendous process that is getting a PhD. She signed Rooms, which is a ghost story if you don't know, for Regina, happy reading, and she drew a ghost. Then she told me the ghost looked like Honda, which was super funny. And I said, oh, well, that's super fitting considering the night. And she thought that was great because a lot of the conversations of the night were very feminist leaning and sexually charged, and it was just funny. It was great. It was wonderful. So she was like, yeah, that's great. You'll never forget tonight. Then she signed Before I Fall, which is one of my favorite books of all time, for Regina. See you in the movies in April. Woot woot. Lauren Oliver. Then she signed Replica for Regina. Thanks so much for being here tonight and for reading Lauren Oliver. I am so jealous of my friend's book. My friend asked her, what's the best way to read this? She said, well, I think if you can swing it, the best way is to read this with a friend. One person read Lyra's story first, and then Gemna's. The other person read Gemma's story and then Lyra's, and compare thoughts and see who you like better and see how that changes the way you read the story. And we're like, yeah, we're gonna do that. That's amazing. That sounds fantastic. So we're reading it that way because Lauren Oliver said so. So if you're ever not sure which way to read this, I was gonna read chapter by chapter, but now I'm not. So chapter by chapter is probably still a really good way, but if you're not sure, find a friend to read it with. Lauren Oliver would approve. So Lauren Oliver wrote in my friend's copy though, don't forget to read this book like I told you to. So that was a very unique response, and I was a little bit jealous of that, but it's cool because I met Lauren Oliver. So many great books, so many wonderful authors, so much wonderful female power. It was just such a great event. Had so much fun. Anyways, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you should give it a thumbs up. You should comment down below and let me know if you've read any of these books or met any of these authors. Let me know how that experience was and how you like that book. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in my next video. Bye.